So, Boyz II Men, how are we doing?
We're good, man. Chilling. Can't complain.
Welcome to London.
Thank you very much. Here, bro.
You're here on a mint day. I mean, the sky is crystal clear blue outside.
Unfortunately, we've been in here for 4 hours, so we haven't got a chance
see
to
the
go
sky.
out.
How long have you actually been in London for? Is it just today? Yesterday.
Yes.
So you're going straight out tonight, I imagine.
Yes,
you're going right
straight from here. Yeah.
Obviously not your first time in London, is it? You've been here quite a few times, gathering up the fans every time you play.
Yeah.
How has because you're over here at the moment, you're promoting 20, which is your 20th anniversary collection.
Yes.
Firstly, can you tell us about the record and what it's all about?
Yes, 20 is an amalgamation of songs with a double CD. The first CD, well, one of the CDs are brand new Boyz II Men records that people have been asking for a long time. And the other CD is classic Boyz II Men songs that people know us for and love us for. We decided to do a double CD so that we can actually span the time for the nostalgia of 20 and let people know where we were, where we are now, and hopefully give them a taste of what we plan on doing in the future.
Because I was listening to the record quite intently last night, and there's a lot changed in your voices, and like you're listening to the older songs, and you've reworked them in a way that shows there's a lot more maturity in your voices, and different vocal inflections and that sort of thing.
Yes.
What was it like revisiting those tracks and doing them in that way?
It was interesting because we sang them so long. When we first recorded them, like you said, it was almost 20 years ago. We were young kids. We had no sense of what we were really doing. We just went to the studio and sang the songs just the way they were and what they were supposed to be. And now, 20 years later, you kind of sing them with a purpose because the song is kind of like, you're used to wearing this suit. You're used to, singing it a certain way. And it's completely different from what it used to be. But we enjoy the way that we sing them now. It kind of gives more of a live feel to it. And as an artist, you never sing the same song the same way all the time, but it is close enough that our fans can still get the feeling of the original songs, but they also get an updated version of how people sing them today.
Because I'm sure you've been through, obviously, to say you've had a successful career, it's an understatement because you've achieved so much, and so I suppose they have a whole new meaning to the songs from when you recorded them back then.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we're older. We've experienced those things that we sung about when we were 15, 16, 17. We've experienced a lot of those things, and we know the significance of it enough to express it more wholeheartedly, So, yeah, definitely. It means a little bit, well, a lot more.
How has the fans' reaction been to the record?
Great.
Yes?
Yeah, everyone that's heard it loves it.
We just got to get more people to hear it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But everyone that does listen to the music, they love the music, they love the direction we've gone, and they especially love the new music. They really enjoy the direction we've taken, which is a great thing because this is our first original album production, whatever you want to call it, for some time. So this was very important for us to get it done and get it done right.
You're working with some of the people that you worked with back in the day, notably Jimmy and Terry, as well as Babyface. What was it like to work with them again for such a milestone record?
Great.
It was
always fun to work with those guys, man. We didn't know how it was going to turn out. We talked about the idea of the 20th, and we talked about even the remake record side of it. The first thing that came to our mind would be it would be kind of cool to get back in with those guys, but we didn't know if they were going to respond and be a part of it. But they responded right away. What can we do? And it was exciting. The fact that again, we've done these songs years ago when we were younger, and it was just we did them because they were the songs to do. And now to, like Juan said, to have lived a lot of this stuff and actually be able to sit down and have conversation with these producers about why they wrote the record and different things like that, and then it's just a whole different vibe and atmosphere that you've learned a lot throughout your career, and you add all that into the song as you're saying now. So it was great to really get them involved, and even have Mike Bivens come back from Motown Philly and stuff like that. So it just really felt like a 20th anniversary record.
Absolutely.
Does it feel like it's been 20 years?
Sometimes it does.
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Yeah, when we get a chance to sit down and reflect and talk about things that happened in the past. You know, you can really you can add it up time wise. But we work so much, you know, we really don't sit back and really think about what it is that, you know, we've done. You know, so it's like the time just keeps going.
To a concert and you ask how old she is, and she says she's 16, and then you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, or she says she's 20, and you're like, wow, you know, you grew up with our music.
It must feel good to be gaining new fans as well. I mean, you know, you've been in the game for a good 20 years to still be collecting such a mass amount of.
It's cool to know that we're still gaining fans. Like that's the cool thing. It's like the fans that grew up with our music, they now have kids and they're teaching their children about our music, and some of them are even coming to the concerts. And then we just run into kids that might be 20, 21 years old who just enjoys and appreciates our music, just discovered it and loved it. So it's nice. I mean, being an artist, you know, I don't care what anybody says. You know, when people say, I'm just doing it for the artistry and that type of thing, but part of the artistry is wanting as many people to hear it as humanly possible. So when you have people that still enjoy and appreciate your music and are learning about your music when they weren't even around in that era, it's something that every artist wants. Every artist wants their music to be appreciated, and ours are.
And you obviously have an ability to move with the times as well, because I see you've got an app.
Yeah.
So you're obviously moving with technology.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up, you know, the app and the website, the Twitter and the Facebook and all that stuff. I mean, we definitely were not conceived, or our career was not conceived in the information age, but, you know, we've slowly realized that it can be a good companion in a lot of different ways. So we embrace it, and it is kind of tough when it comes to servicing music to a degree, because, I mean, it is an area, too, where people get music for free, but as far as getting information out about your group and keeping people up to date with what you're doing, I mean, all those things come into play, and they work well for us right now.
Looking at your 20 years, I mean, obviously you've achieved a lot. I want to talk about that shortly, but is there any particular, what you call a career-defining moment for each of you? Is there, over the past 20 years, looking back, is there a particular career-defining moment?
3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, the Hollywood Walk of Fame star. That right there is just something that you couldn't, you know, you can't even like explain. It immortalizes us. It actually, you know, puts us in a place where we'll be forever. Kids will see that, you know, and I mean, it just means that we've done our job. You know what I mean? We expressed ourselves musically. We put our hearts in it, and the world heard it, loved it, understood it, and decided to give us something so great. So, you know, we're very excited about that. I think that's the most defining moment today.
There's you looking at your achievements over the past 20 years. I mean, we can talk all sorts of figures. You know, the fact that your singles have racked up huge amounts in sales. You know, they've spent so much time. I'll Make Love to You at #1 for 14 weeks into the road. 13 weeks, Once Weekday is the record holder.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff, my man.
There's a lot of achievement. You know, you've got your Hollywood, you know, Walk of Fame star. You know, you're immortalized in music history forever. How does it? What's it like taking that sort of thing in? I mean, do you have to pinch yourself every day you wake up to?
It's weird because I mean, even while you're saying, it's like we hear it and we know it's true and we understand it, but there's no feeling that comes over us that's like, you know, oh man, we did it. It's almost like, okay, we did that.
What's next?
What's next? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like there's really no focus on the past. And I think that, you know, as we get older and eventually we start to slow down and we have grandkids and they'll bring it up to us and people will talk to us about it. And, you know, like I said, once this life starts to slow down a bit, we'll probably be able to take a glance at it and really understand exactly what you're saying. But I mean, even as you're reading it off, it's really a lot to take in. And to sit here and realize that we did that, it still doesn't always compute. But I mean, you know, again, we're just ready for whatever the next challenge is and whatever the next task is. And as I said, when we get older and sit back and look at it, hopefully we can feel it the way everybody else feels. Because right now we're just still kind of caught up in it.
continuing with your music, is there anything else that you'd want to achieve? Is there any other projects that you sort of see yourself branching out into?
I think that the main thing is just just trying to make sure that we put as much content out as possible. More music, different avenues to build a brand. Maybe TV. Sean has his television show that he actually judges on, which is called The Sing Off. Just different things that'll put us out there. Regardless of if it's together, as Boyz II Men, or as Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men, or Wanya Mars of Boyz II Men. You know what I mean? As long as that brand continues to build, we'll be around for a very long time. Hopefully, we'll be doing Vegas. We'll be, doing more albums and just keeping it moving, man.
Yeah, the key is to get the world to know who we are.
The world now to know.
Yeah, because overall, people know our music, and that's it. If they see us, they don't always know the names, they don't know who we are, they don't know what Sean likes to do, or where wine goes, or vice versa. And part of the deal is trying to, let the people know not just the music that we do, but the personalities we have. In case in point is, you guys' biggest group, the Beatles. People knew not just their music, but they knew what Paul liked, they knew what Ringo liked to go, they knew what so-and-so smoked, they knew everything about these guys, that their character, their character was not, it wasn't just about their music, but about the individual characters as well. And we're at a day and age where we're finally able to let people know what each individual guy is about.
Sean smokes.
So,
Oh, wow.
it's extremely important.
You know what? One thing I do want for us, it might seem maybe too, I don't know what you call it, but we performed here long enough, in London or the UK, to acquire a few sold-out gigs at the O2 Arena. I want us to get to that point in our careers where the demand here is so big and so great that we're able to sell out that place 2-3 times over. We've seen our other peers do it. We've seen, and I might be speaking for myself, but I think that in itself just would make me feel good. You know what I mean? To know that we've acquired this even after 20 years in this business. To acquire the type of allure and draw where the O2 Arena would be filled with people that want to hear our music. That for me is a personal accomplishment that I hope, that we will be able to do. Speaking more specifically, it just makes this journey, even greater, even though it's great now. But just to know that and to reach that milestone and to do that, it would just feel really, really good.
So with your show, talking about live performances, you've got your show tonight at Brighton. We're going to see you at Brixton Academy tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Yeah, thank you.
What's next for Boyz II Men?
After this, we go home for a couple of weeks. We tour constantly, so we're basically going to pick up where we left off here and do it in the United States. We go to South America in March. Is it June? Okay, it's June. Sorry, in June. And then we go to Australia in July. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're just, making our rounds, basically. And you'll hear and see a lot more content concerning Boyz II Men. We're working really hard at trying to put together things that people can enjoy, that's incorporated with the album, but something that they can look forward to as well. So,
some traditional, some non-traditional.
Yeah, so we're constantly trying to figure out ways to, represent ourselves and repackage ourselves, because we understand how, the industry is, and we understand how how quickly it moves.
It's fantastic to hear, because it obviously means a lot more to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Much more to come.
Thank you so much. It's been an honour and a pleasure.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.